Nash,
What's up?
what's going on, Morty?
What's going on, fellers?
Voidy,
Yeah.
voidy.
Let's get into the Titan. It's spicy. What do you think
It
about the
is.
spicy, spicy Titan?
Let me see the Titans. I didn't even look at it yet.
It's very spicy. Yeah. This is like I think because of this, since women are like kind of treating like family life like extra credit, like leftover crumbs. Like they
Yeah.
do it when they're at their
What?
not at their peak beauty. They're not at their peak fertility. It's just like leftover when they get time, when they get around to it. It's kind of like a very lazy approach, half-ass approach. I think when women are like this, they deserve pumping and dumping, but no commitment.
Pumping and dumping.
Yeah, just pump and dump.
Pumping and dumping.
Yeah, they cannot be taken seriously. You should not impregnate them. Uh, just that's what's happening. Wouldn't you agree? Like most women, I think it's even in countries that are somewhat traditional, even they are changing, and women are behaving more and more like this.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I
right.
agree.
Yeah,
I
even in
agree.
Saudi Arabia,
They,
I think, right?
yeah,
What do you
bro,
think?
the fuck is
Yeah,
the fuck is that the woman would say, you know what, I'm gonna graduate around 22, 23. I'm gonna do my career. If
yeah,
it didn't work out, if I didn't make it big, if I didn't become a CEO by 30, I'll probably,
yeah,
get in an arranged marriage with another guy,
Hmm.
whatever. That's
yeah.
it. That's the point. It happens a lot.
And that's a
A
problem.
lot.
That's
It is a
because like
problem.
yeah, like if you think about it, that's like I don't think women are seeing the amount of risk and effort that men have to put in to a woman to get married. Especially back in the day, men had like when sex was more precious and women valued their body count more. When men wanted to have sex with a decent woman, a lot of times it was like no marriage before sex. And that meant you had to make money, you had to become established before you can even gain access to any sexual intimacy from her. So it's like a lot of work that men have to put in.
Hmm.
So look at all that we have to sacrifice, right? And what is the woman sacrificing? What is she giving up for it? Well, she'll say, "Well, I have a career too." Yeah, but you expect us to provide. You're not getting a career to take care of a family. You're getting a career so you don't need a man. So what the fuck are you sacrificing? Nothing. You're not.
Hmm.
You're not sacrificing anything for us. All you're doing is just prioritizing your own security. You just want to get a career and then an education, so you don't need a man and you don't have to depend on a man. But if you do get a good man, right, that has those things, well, at least you have your career serves as your backup plan. When men get careers, we don't get careers for backup plans. We get careers so we can actually, it could be the main thing that's gonna be used to take care of a family. And it's also we're doing it because we need to do it to attract you, to be attractive enough for you to even commit to us. Because at the end of the day, you don't want us to depend on your fucking income. You're looking for providers. That's what women say. So what are you giving up, women? What are you women giving up for us? Nothing. You're giving us your leftover eggs. You're old, you're wrinkly, you're 35,
Em-
you're 40. Yeah.
empty milk card. You don't have any eggs.
Yeah, empty milk card. And look, and your eggs that you do have left are not the best eggs. They're old, and you don't look that great. You're old, you're wrinkly, you're 35, you're 40. You're not at your peak anymore. And guess what? A lot of times you probably fucked a whole bunch of guys. By the time you're 35, 40, imagine all the experiences you have from all those different going in and out of you. That's not what men want. We don't want. Why should we give you any priority? We should just use you for you respectfully. We can watch Netflix. You can lick my asshole and go home.
Damn
What,
right.
what, yeah. What do you think about that, Bill? Does that make sense?
I agree with you completely, buddy.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, you got some babas? Pass some babas?
Nobody's gonna lick your asshole. It's probably nasty and full of STDs.
I like that. I play it again.
Nobody's gonna lick your asshole. It's probably nasty and full of STDs.
Yeah, I like that. Funny thing is, a lot of times women that when they say, "I won't do this, I won't do that," a lot of times when you reject them and you walk away from them, they end up actually doing what you want. Because they're just looking for that, a man that has boundaries and knows what he wants. And when he tells her no, they don't understand it themselves, but they get aroused secretly. They don't know why. And before you know it, they're like, "Please, daddy, let me lick your asshole, daddy, please." Yeah.
when you withhold the pee pee, so you can
Yeah.
play hard to get as a man.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah. Because it's rare when you do that, because the majority of men won't do it. So when you do it, it's weird for her. So
Hmm.
they like that. It's like, wow, like what the hell is this? Like, so yeah.
Harry Kunts, you a fucking misogynist. Fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you.
Thank you. I like that. That was a nice one. Nah, man, but I don't hate women. Misogynists hate women, and I don't hate them. I just understand them. So it's different. If you understand them, it can sound like you're hating on them because you're
That's a
talking
good
about their
fact.
dark
That's
nature.
true.
Yeah, yeah. Ah.
What are you talking about? Okay, so if you complain that when a woman works, you complain. You complain if she don't work. So what the fuck? Explain that.
No.
Okay, look, I I am not saying every man has their preference, but me specifically, I don't want my woman to work. If she's committing to me, she is not working. Okay, I take care of that. Her job, her duty is to prioritize me. Her duty is to take care of my pee. That's her duty. Her duty is to be focused on my pee, and also her duty is to clean the house. Her duty is to make babies when I'm ready, and her duty is also to just make my life easier. Okay. After she's done with her duty, if she has time, she can have a part-time job, maybe some hobbies aside from prioritizing me. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Now, if she's single and then yeah, she can work. I'm not against women working when they're single. You can work all you like as a single woman. Pay your own bills and keep working. Okay. Here. Ah,
Bro,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bro,
ah.
why are you too harsh on women, man?
I'm not. I'm fair.
Okay,
I'm
as you say.
well. Well, let's put it like that. I'm balanced. I think I'm very balanced. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Very
Yeah, if
stable.
I
Very
Think about
stable.
it. See.
Yes, indeed, if you will.
you're saying that you're comparing all women. You're saying all women don't listen. The reason we don't listen is to jackasses like you, okay, that are making fun of us, okay, saying that we're stupid and dumb and we're not good for nothing, and if we do work, it's a problem. And if we don't, it's a big problem. Okay? So what the fuck with you? You're ignorant and
Yeah, stories. You're not listening. You can't. Your stories. That's what I'm saying. You should come up so you can listen. Because
Oof,
you're
this
just
dude is
all you're doing
nuts.
is just leaving bubbles and talking, but
You're
not
blowing
deciding
bubbles.
anything. Yeah, just
Just
blowing
blowing
bubbles.
smoke, brother.
Yeah. Okay. That was going on stories.
I'm
Welcome.
fine, enjoying listening to your pathetic conversation, but I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So tell us. Can you do me a favor so we can have a constructive conversation?
Oh,
Like
constructive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine with being called pathetic or stupid or dumb or
Oh,
or
yeah. Yeah,
anything.
I
But
heard that. I heard everything you said. You think I wasn't
yes. So
listening?
let
I
me
was listening
finish.
to
Yes.
everything.
Okay, let me finish. Yeah, so all I'm saying is that it's perfectly fine to say these things. Just make sure you can
Mhm.
back it up with something. Like, tell me why. Like, if I'm pathetic, I have to know why. If the title's stupid, tell me why. That's all.
I never said the title was stupid. Okay.
No, I'm saying if
I
you
just,
do, if you do, if you do.
if I, okay, to begin with, you know, I've seen all kinds of men. I've talked to all kinds of men, whatever. And a lot of them speak the same way, close to what you. I'm not saying all men are like that. Okay. I
Okay.
don't think all men are like that.
Okay, but how about
But
what we're talking about? Like, we're talking about something specific here. Like, do you
okay,
have
well, tell
anything
me
to
what,
say about it?
tell, like you're talking about what you said, where if a woman is with you, she doesn't have to work. Is that what you're
Right,
saying? Okay.
right. That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
okay. It really depends on the situation. Okay. Because I've actually known people that, I could give you an example of someone that basically is just living as a mother, as a single mom, not a single mom, as a mother to a man who just has her for decoration, for sex, like you said, not really, maybe doing these moderate kind of side obligations, but mostly like what you said. I imagine, I don't know what was the
That's
girl, but
sweet.
she was a very beautiful woman, young girl, young female, they had a child. And it was basically very sad, the situation, what happened for her. Okay, from what I understood. But the guy that was my second owner, her mother was an asshole with her, a bitch. And they're basically the way they also believed, the traditions. They were Muslims. Okay. But I didn't agree. I didn't like how they treated her and the husband. He wasn't even a handsome man. He was an ugly man, but he treated her like trash. Okay. And just made fun of her along with the mother, making fun of her, talking in her language, whatever. And basically, I think they just had her for work, but it was a beautiful woman. And I just don't think that's right either. Just because, the woman's not working. Okay, have that respect. Have that respect. Just because they're not working, it doesn't mean that, okay, a woman has to do everything, licking their ass, or if they don't want to do it. Okay? Or doing these other things that they don't need to do just because she don't work. Okay, just because she don't work,
Okay,
you need to have the
okay.
same respectful way. Okay, be humble about it. Okay, okay, she's my wife. I honor her because she's my queen. She's this the same way as if she was working, and even if she does
Okay,
work, so
okay.
what?
Stories,
So
stories,
what?
stories.
So what if she
Let,
does
let me
work?
let me ask you something, because you're saying a lot of things. Just
Yes.
uh, take a break. Take a break. Yeah, take a deep breath. Yeah. But
No.
okay. So I get you. So the first you mentioned two problems from what I can get. So let's
Okay.
just go one at a time. Okay. So right. So
Go ahead.
the first problem you mentioned is that, what if the man is a let's just say, treats her like shit, is abusive, right? Degrades her, right, and verbally or something like
Maybe
that,
maybe
and then
verbally.
she
I don't
wasn't
mean like
working.
physically. Maybe I'm
Uh,
not saying like physically, but maybe verbally. Or
okay,
just
verbally,
that
things
way.
like, okay, so maybe he wasn't
Okay.
so nice to her, blah blah blah, and then you're saying it's not fair because now she's depending. I think you're trying to say, since she's depending on this man financially, it's not fair to her because she's depending financially on this man. And now she's stuck in a marriage with a man who's maybe verbally abusive and not right.
Well, I don't
So
know
you're
if
saying,
I don't
is
know
that
if
what
they're
you're
still
saying?
together. That was a long time ago. But the end is very sad, from what I understand. That it seems like they took away her child, and she went back to Japan with her father. So it's just
Okay.
very sad that
Is a
it seems like they took away her child.
Okay, okay, I get it. That could be sad. Now, but the thing is, without getting into the details of that particular story, in general, I think what you're trying to say is, but it's not a good idea when women are depending on a man financially, because if the supposed man becomes abusive, right? What is she to do?
Well,
She
yeah.
has no other financial support and she's stuck, right?
Hmm.
I think you're
Right.
saying, right? So you're saying, Okay,
Yeah, well,
fair enough.
that basically like that. I mean, if I don't think it should, men need to understand because I understand, and all women understand. Okay, what a man wants. We all know what a man wants. We don't need to see it. Okay, and that's another thing. We don't want to see it. I mean, and the contrary, if you show a woman that, that's just a complete turnoff. We don't need to see that. We know
Okay,
what a man has behind under their legs.
okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so without getting too off subject here, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying, how it can be problematic if a woman depends on a man because maybe he can become abusive, right? He can change.
Right.
Maybe he can leave her. Maybe he leaves her for another woman, and then she's there. She's
Yeah.
maybe in a difficult situation because she's depending on him financially, right? That kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Well, here's the thing: as a woman, you have to take some accountability, okay? When you choose a man to ejaculate inside you and put babies inside of you and have sex with,
Hmm.
you have to take accountability as a woman because you don't have to do any effort, barely any effort on your end to get men to approach you. You just have to sit there, look pretty, and men will approach you. That's it. That's all you got to do. Your job
Oh,
is to
wow.
vet them.
Interesting.
That yeah, we got to be pretty enough. Now, if you're not pretty enough, men won't approach you, or you don't put yourself out there, men won't approach you. But if you are pretty enough, somewhat pretty, you don't even have to be that pretty, just somewhat pretty, men will approach you. And you put yourself out there. That's all you got to do on your end.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah,
So with that
that's all you have to
mindset that
do.
you have, with that mindset
Wait,
that
hold
you
on, hold
have,
on. I'm not done. Let me finish. Let me finish. No, no, wait, no, no. Just try to absorb it. Try to absorb
oh,
this.
I just
All
did.
I'm trying,
I just did.
but I'm
I, I
but I'm not
actually,
done.
I actually absorbed it, really
But I'm
well.
not done.
I'm a, I'm a,
Okay.
I'm a cook. I'm pretty much a chef, and I believe me, I cook and bake very, very with finesse. Everything, make sure the first ingredient is well blended. I make sure everything is well blended to come up with a very exquisite dish. So believe me,
Very
when it
good.
comes to
Very good.
conversation, and relationship, oh, I absorb everything. Trust me.
Okay, good. Well, part of that, just so let me finish so you can at least be able to absorb the full length of what I'm trying to say here. So
The
all I'm trying
full
to say
length.
is since all you have to do is just sit there and look pretty, and men will approach you if you put yourself out there, then your main job where you have the part where you have to actually put an effort is being able to vet the man properly, meaning that you
Hmm.
have to choose properly. You have to choose the
Choose
right
properly.
man. You can't choose a peepee boy.
Oh yeah.
You just have to
Yeah, right.
choose the right one.
Oh
In other
yeah.
words, you have to choose a man who's financially stable. Very important that he's stable. Okay. And once you,
Uh-huh.
so in other words, he has a good career and it's a stable
Uh-huh.
career. He's
Hey,
not
mama.
some dreamer. He's not a guy who's saying, I dream of being a famous rap star. Believe me, honey, I will make it one day, become a millionaire. Be like, oh, I love his tattoos. I love his abs. Yeah, I'll commit to you. No. You have to be a better chooser. You have to be a better picker. And you have to pick men that are actually stable. And you have to pick men
Oh,
that have
kind of
the
like
right
you,
characteristics.
right? Are you referring to yourself?
Well, I am stable, but that's another story. Without without getting personal. All I'm trying to say is that
Wow.
you have to pick the right
Interesting.
man with the right characteristics, right? That are
Oh,
suitable to
okay.
be a good husband, a good father, a good leader, and a man that's not going to be abusive and an alcoholic. So you need to
Okay.
be able to choose
Okay.
properly. Okay, so if you don't
Okay.
choose
I get
properly,
it.
then wait, then you have to if you don't choose properly, then you have to take accountability for making the poor decision for picking a peepee boy.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm trying to
Oh,
say.
Yeah, right.
well, I'm sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, I think you're just a peepee boy myself. I think you're one. Um, look, let's go on parts. You mentioned a leader. Can you please explain to me? Because I have learned what is a leader. Okay, so I want you to tell me what is your definition of a leader in a
Uh,
relationship.
Mein
so
Okay,
Führer.
yeah, so
tell
a
me that.
leader, yeah, so in a relationship, as a man, a leader is a sacrificial. His love is sacrificial. He understands if he's going to have a family, he's responsible for the family, and if it means him having to die for the sake of the family's well-being, he's willing to do it. He's sacrificial. Also, a leader
Monsieur.
in a family, he's also not necessarily putting himself as a leader and forcing the woman to see him as a leader. It's the woman's role to be able to. The woman has to see him as a leader and want him to be the leader. So he doesn't force it on her. It comes from the woman. The woman has to want to be obedient to him. She has to want to allow him to train her. It
Oh,
comes from
fuck.
her, not from him.
So you're saying,
Yeah.
well, so you're saying that in a relationship and the way you're talking about and in the selfish way of on the side of the man, okay, you're saying that the only leader in a relationship is only the man. Is that what you're
Exactly.
saying?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
no, I'm saying that if you want to have every man has their own standards. Every man can
Okay,
have
but
their own standards and their own flavor. Now,
so you're talking
if
about one way. You're
so, let
talking
me
about one
explain.
way.
So let me explain. So many women want leaders. Many women, the majority of women, when you listen to them, you ask them what they want in a man. They usually talk about men that can provide, men that
That
can
is
lead,
true, but
men
there's a
that can be
but.
the head of the household, men that are responsible, stable. All these things,
Tybo.
are stable, implying that they want leaders. Okay, they want men
Mhm.
that can be accountable, like a
And
captain of a
stable.
ship. Yeah, men that are stable, that can be captains of the ship, and they want to be the passenger so they can feel safe enough to be feminine and have kids with them and trust them
Oh,
enough
okay.
to lead.
Um,
So yeah,
And to be
oh, okay.
that's what
stable.
women are saying. That's what women are saying.
Tybo.
Stable.
Stable.
Okay, we
Yeah.
understand, Roger. We understand you down there. We heard you stable. Anyways,
Who's fucking
Stable.
so
Roger?
you. Anyway, so
Me? My name's not Roger.
we Roger
Okay.
that. We Roger
Okay.
that. Anyways,
My name's Bill.
okay,
Bill.
Mr.
Tell him
Bill.
a story.
I don't see Bill in the title anyways. So, okay. Bill, we Roger that. Anyways, so
Oh,
um
yes, ma'am.
so like I'm trying to say, so you're saying that a woman in your mind, you're saying that a woman should not be the leader because the man, you know, it should be only the leader,
Because
and
that's
it
what
doesn't
women
matter.
want.
It doesn't, no, no, no. Do not talk for all
Most
women because
women.
I'm going to tell you.
Most.
I'm going to tell
Most.
you right now. I'm going to
Most.
tell you what I
Most.
think as a leader.
Most.
Okay, I'm going to tell. No,
Most.
no, no. I'm sorry,
Most.
sir.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Yeah.
you. No, we're not. Okay, I really doubt those are only for women that maybe they don't have much strength. They don't have, like, for example, the woman I spoke about. Now she had to just do what basically that family. She was married to that whole family, and she had no leadership of whatsoever. Okay, not even for her child, which is very sad. I could see that she was miserable, and she basically couldn't tell me things because she just didn't want to get in trouble. Okay, so as a woman that speaks for females like that, not all, they only do it because, okay, they don't have a choice. Okay. They're humble. They're not anything, complicated. They are looking to be with somebody. I don't know. Maybe it could be for other things because maybe they're here because they're trying to maybe fix their situation, but it doesn't mean that they don't love the person because people grow to love the person they marry and they stay with the person that they marry.
Uh,
Okay, so there's a lot of situations that you have to look at, but you cannot say all women want only the man to be a leader because that's a
most.
fault.
Most. 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 Most.
Well,
Don't say
maybe
all.
you're talking
Most.
about, yeah, like, okay, well,
Most.
some women, okay,
Wait. Enough of the all. Nobody's talking about all. I'm making it very clear. Generalities. We're speaking generalities. Most. Most. Okay, you can keep going. You have to unmute yourself, by the way. You have to unmute yourself. I just needed to say that.
oh, I didn't even see when it was muted. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, okay, so I don't know which women's you're referring, but as far as I know, I don't know any woman, and I've
Most.
spoken to a lot of women that don't think like that. Okay. And I speak to a lot of people. Okay, I speak to a lot of people. I speak to people on Twitch. I speak to people on my PS5. I speak to people everywhere. Okay, because I'm basically, I talk to a load of people. Okay, and talk about a lot of topics. Okay, and I talk to people in person. I speak to anybody.
Okay,
I
okay,
even,
okay. I'll get to the point.
so
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm over here like trying to understand what you're saying. You're saying that the women don't need to be a leader, but I really disagree with you in that aspect because, two heads is better than one. Okay. And it's always
Okay,
important for the woman to be a leader. Okay. And not
okay,
just be like what you're saying, a puppet or a sex doll sitting on a chair,
okay,
ready to have inject, just to
okay,
satisfy your bone. Okay. Because it's,
okay.
it's not like that. That's a
All right.
fantasy.
Okay,
That's a
all right.
fetish
So, all right.
fantasy.
All right, so let me respond to you said a lot of things. So yeah, you,
I'm gonna say a
so,
lot.
yeah, okay, but yeah, but we're having a conversation. So one try to take it a little slower here, so we can break things down a little bit.
I'm talking about the
So
same thing, basically.
yeah, okay. So what you said about a women being a leader and that there's exceptions, that not all women are looking for men that can lead, and that is you can have setups, relationships where both are leaders and 50-50. I'm with you. I agree. You can have all these things. I'm not saying you
Mhm.
can't. You could do it. I'm just saying that me, I have my standards, and I will not do that. Okay. Now, you as a woman, you can have your standards, and
Shit.
there's certain men that are okay with that. Okay, but there are generalities that are true. Most women in general, when you listen to what they want, they're all talking about. They don't want men that are scrubs. Hell, they even sing songs on it.
I
Chicks
don't
sing,
want no
"I don't
scrub.
want no scrub. Scrub is a
Blah.
get no love for me."
You're
They don't want
exaggerating.
scrubs. Okay,
You're
they don't
exaggerating
want
on
it.
some point. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm just
understand.
saying, this is what they're saying, okay? Now, with that said, this doesn't mean that all men also want to be leaders. There are some men that are peepee boys.
Oh yeah.
They want to go
All right.
50-50. They want to let the woman work, right? There's men that like that too. But these are certain kind of men. They might live with their mommy. They maybe are not too certain of their life and what they want in life. They're not so stable. Maybe they're living paycheck to
Stable.
paycheck and they need
Stay
help
back.
to go 50-50. Okay, so there's men like that too. But there's also men that are stable, that
Stay
can
back.
take care of a whole entire family and don't need to go 50-50. And they see your career as pointless. If anything, it's like a distraction because they just
That's
thought
Stable.
not
a woman.
true.
Let
They
me
do not.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. They see your career like a distraction because they make enough money to support you. They make enough money to support a family and kids. So when you have a career and you're always busy, that means you're barely ever available to take care of the kids. You have to throw them in daycare. You don't have enough time to suck his pee pee. You don't have enough time to cook and clean. And so as a man who has money, who's financially stable, he looks
Stay
at
back.
you. He looks at you as low quality. He's like, well, you know, you you're not really housewife material. You're not really a stay-at-home mother material. You're more high risk. You're more for just fun, for pumping and dumping, but nothing for too serious because I don't need a woman like that. Because I need a woman that's more dedicated to being a mother. I want a woman that can dedicate her time to making a good stable household and
Stable.
Stay
taking care of
back.
my sexual needs and making babies, not a career. So
Stable.
you have men like that too, okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. So you as a woman, when you're dating men, you have to make your decision. Decide, what kind of man do I want? Do I want a peepee boy? A man who wants to go 50-50 with me, who doesn't know what he wants in his life, that he's not ready to be a leader. He wants me to tell him what to
I don't know
do.
what to
If
do.
that's if that's the kind of man you want, go for it by all means. But if you want a man that's stable, that
Stay
wants you
back.
to be a stay-at-home wife, make babies, be a homemaker, well, then he's going to have different standards, and he's most likely he doesn't give a shit about your career, and he's going to see it as a red flag that you have a career, and he's going to be thinking in his head, this woman What? She looks at family life like a backup plan. Now she's 35 and 40, she's wrinkly, and she expects to marry a man that's stable? No, she's just for
Stable.
pumping and dumping. She Anyway, stories, you gotta unmute yourself. I know you're still talking and
Stable.
you
I
didn't
don't know
listen
who
to
puts it
anything I
on
said.
because I sure am not putting it on.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're not
The
listening
mute.
to anything I'm saying, right? Nothing
Oh,
you
I'm
listen to,
listening.
right?
The thing
Oh,
is I
okay.
don't know who's pushing the button. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry, but I think you're only speaking either left or right. You're not really putting it into an
Liberal.
actual balance. Okay. It's just very, your kind of way that you're saying when you say stable, from what I'm understanding from you,
Stable.
is
Hey,
okay, stable,
Stable.
Stable.
someone someone
Stable.
basically,
Stable.
if I choose a stable according to you, is
Stable.
someone that expects me not to work because
Stable.
I have to stick to what he wants. Now the
hey,
problem here, now the
Stable.
problem now the problem here with that is that when a woman chooses a man that is stable in your world of what is
Stable.
stable, okay,
Stable.
Stable.
that that the
David!
man over. Okay. So your type of stable is not, I'm
Stable.
sorry, it's
Stable.
not, can
Now,
y'all, can
come
y'all
on, guys.
please,
Come on, guys. Let her talk. Let her talk. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you
Sorry.
We're
throw me
sorry,
off.
stories.
I
We're
can't
sorry.
even,
Go
I
ahead.
can't even,
Con-
I can't even, I have to be like, okay, what the hell was I at? Okay. Out of respect, because if y'all are talking, okay, here's the problem with that, with in general for guys. If a guy doesn't know how to listen, okay, then that's a problem. If you're always cutting in and interrupting a woman like you're doing right now, then
I'm listening. I'm
that
listening.
is right
I'm
now.
just being
She's
fun.
she's
We're
Listen.
just
going
having a
to
little fun.
no, hold up.
But keep
Well,
going. We're
I
listening.
understand. I understand. But because they did it, I have to say it. A woman's gonna notice that. Okay. And
The
so
Hey,
floor
if
is
you don't
hey,
know,
hey,
yours.
I did
The
it.
floor
Wait,
is
I
yours.
okay.
Keep
did it to
going. Keep going.
Harry and I did it to you too. I did it to both people. He didn't mind it.
I
Why
don't
are you minding
care.
it?
I don't care. I'm speaking for myself. I don't like it. Okay,
It's a
skinny.
man's world.
Okay,
It
Weird.
Okay,
stop
happens all
saying
the
skinny.
time.
stable
Okay.
because I have this
Thank you. I
reflex action.
understand.
If you say
I
stable, I'll
respect
say,
you.
okay,
Respect me. When it
okay,
comes to actually
I'm
talking,
sorry. I'm sorry,
it's
Yeah,
babe.
it's
okay.
I'm
okay.
sorry.
When it comes to
You're right.
talking, we're gonna
Go on.
respect. Okay, we're gonna
Continue with
Okay,
your
respect.
point.
okay,
Continue with your
ladies.
point, please. Continue with your point, please.
Okay. I'm trying to say, okay, when you're talking about stable, okay,
Oh,
you're talking basically about just basically one way. You're not talking it in a balanced way. You're not saying, okay, looking for someone that's stable. Okay, yeah, that he works, that he's humble, that this and that he has all those qualities, right? Because a decent woman, because I know you mentioned, I heard in a conversation you about saying about a decent woman. Okay, a decent woman. If we're talking about a decent woman, a woman that's decent, yeah, she wants a stable man, but she also wants him to be down to earth. Okay, willing to understand what are her qualities, what does she want, what are her goals. Okay, and respect them and balance. Okay, you want to work. Okay, we can work. We can do this together. My nephew, he's in a relationship. He just finished telling me last night how his 3-year relationship is going. How sometimes things are sad with no money, but the woman understands. And if he doesn't have money, she treats him to go out to eat. Now those are good boundaries in a relationship. Are healthy when both think like a team. Okay. When it's just one, oh, I'm the leader, you're going to do what I think, and that's it. No, I'm sorry, but it doesn't roll that way. If you really want a decent woman, Baka, if you want a decent woman, you have to understand what are the humble standards that even God wants in a relationship. Okay, you have to really reflect over
All right.
and contemplate on those things because I understand what you want. You can get that, but allow the woman to also think for herself.
All
Okay,
right.
not just what you're
Okay.
thinking, but it's just
Okay.
my thought. If you want to continue that way, go ahead. But I invite you.
Yeah.
I invite
Yeah.
you as a woman. I'm a decent woman. Okay, because I do care about what the man thinks too. I care about that stuff. Okay, not
Okay.
just what I'm thinking. Okay, I humble myself to a man, but I
Yeah, me
also
too.
I'm very alert of what a man has to say, if it's good or bad. And as a single mom, I also have to think in that route too.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so
Let me ask you something. Sorry,
so
sorry. So
so
you're saying a lot of things. You gotta like
so
wrap it
I
up at
like to
some point.
explain
All right. Okay.
my
Try to
conversations
summarize it. Yeah.
with points. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So here's what you're saying. You're saying that it should be like this, it should be like that, and men, I get it. And you're allowed to have your standard stories and your preferences, no problem. But here's the thing: men are also allowed to have their standards and preferences. Like for example, if a man has a standard that, hey, I took the time to build myself up financially, I'm stable, right? And I have
Stable.
options, right?
Stable.
I don't want to commit to a woman that's old and wrinkly, 35 and 40, who barely has any fertile eggs. Maybe she's a single mom. Maybe she's fat. I don't want to commit to her. She's past her
Mm-hmm.
prime. I want a younger 20-year-old woman that's very obedient, doesn't have a lot of experience, she doesn't have a career, and she has a lot of time to dedicate to me, to being a mommy, to cleaning the house, to playing with my peepee, and taking care of my sexual needs as her priority in her life.
It
Okay? So I'm allowed to have that
never
standard,
gets old.
right?
It
And
never will
and
get
guess
old,
what?
bro.
The woman is allowed to make the decision if she wants to commit to that kind of a man or not. And I'm not trying to force her to commit to me or not. I'm just letting her know these are my standards, these are my rules, and this is what I expect if you want my commitment. If not, then I'll be happy to just pump and dump you respectfully.
Okay, so you can at least, if you don't want her to be working or whatever you said, about that, then you could at least, okay, she's not meeting my standards, and if she has absolutely probably nobody or whatever, she doesn't have a job or anything like that. At least what you can do as a man, a humble man, is
Real
okay. You know
man.
what? It's not working out. It's not working out. It's not working out. And you don't have to say nothing else other than it doesn't. It's not working out. And if she doesn't have somewhere where she could give her a little bit of money to at least survive a little bit out there, since she did fulfill
Yeah,
all of your requests.
I agree. I agree. I agree. What you're talking about is how to end things. Because in other words, if things don't work out between you and that woman, which it could happen, she depends on you financially and things don't work out. And there's so I think if a woman is smart, you before you get into the commitment, you discuss that. Hey, honey, bunny, I'm going to depend on you financially. I'm going to quit my job to be with you and have your babies and take care of your PPS, my priority in life. Now, what happens if things don't work out? This is a big risk for me. And if you're a logical man and you love me, I'm sure you would understand this. And if he is, I'm sure he would. And he would discuss with you a plan. And this is a very important. You should discuss this before you commit. Look, honey, if things don't work out, I have some savings here. There's a bank account here, savings. This will help you get on your feet, maybe to support you. So you're stable for the next 3 to 6 months,
Stable.
so you can find yourself a job, right? And
Hmm.
you have a plan. If the man is a good man, a responsible man, he's gonna have a plan for you. Now, of course, you have to earn it. He's like, well, I'm not gonna give you this money if you leave me the next day after I commit to you. No, I mean, come on now. You have to be reasonable, right? So if you're with me for some time, something like that, a plan has to be discussed, in other words. And again, this goes back to the woman. When you before you commit and you open your legs and let him ejaculate inside you, you have to first vet that man and make sure he is the right man to come inside you and the right man for you to commit to and the right man for you to surrender your career to. So yeah, you have to discuss those things. If you don't, you have to take some accountability too as a woman for being a poor chooser. If you become a single mom, a lot of times you have to take accountability too for that. You didn't pick
Of
the right
course.
guy. You picked probably a irresponsible guy. So
A
that's
peepee
all.
boy.
So,
All
a
right.
pee boy, yeah,
Pee boy.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Pee oh
it
yeah.
happens. It happens. There's a lot of single moms out there. It happens. I'm one. I mean, I know what I had to go through, but I never depended anything on him, at all, or child support. I never got a cent from him, and I didn't need it. And to this day, I don't need it. I stand for myself. I'm a strong woman, And I just know some men look at it different. When it comes to it, some men, when they end a relationship, the women don't have a job, they just throw them out. And that's not cool either. I just think that, in a sense of having compassion, of a little bit of compassion when it comes to those last strings of the relationship. Um, it really depends on the people or the persons. And in this case, you love those things, that's good. But at least at the end, if nothing seems to be going how you're wishing, then at least have a humble resort plan for the ending if the person has pretty much stayed with you for quite some time, tolerating you.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. That makes sense. So again, that goes back to picking the right guy from the very beginning, observing his behavior, his character. Like, hey, is this guy a reasonable guy? Is he a responsible man? Is this
Real
a man
bad.
of good character? Is this a guy who is worthy enough to be a good father, a good leader, a good role model for children? You have to do that as a woman. That's your
Hmm.
job, to vet that guy.
Well,
Many women don't know how to do that. You know why? Sometimes women don't have good fathers in their life. They don't have good guidance. They don't have good mentorship. So they make poor decisions in choosing pee boys. So that's really a lot of times women have a hard time accepting the fact that they're just poor at choosing the right guy. They made a big mistake at picking a guy with tattoos on his face who recently got
mhm,
released from jail, and
yeah,
they thought he was
It,
cool because the way he combs his hair, and maybe he smokes weed and sells weed, and they thought he was
yeah,
cool, and they let him impregnate her. So
yeah.
it's,
No,
it's
yeah. I
about
mean,
that
that
too,
is true.
accountability.
That is true right there. I agree with you on that. Sometimes it could be because of the family, the way they were raised, and sometimes it's not. It really just varies with every female out there. And on the other side too, as for man, this happens a lot too on the man side. I've met guys that are just very sensitive, very delicate, and it's very hard for them because whatever they went through. Okay, I've
Right.
encountered all kinds of things on people, and so it's very interesting. You have to be really
Yeah.
careful
Those
in
are the
what you're
PP
going to
boys.
say.
Yeah.
No,
See,
it's
men
not
like
PP
that,
boys. I don't agree
you
with you on
shouldn't be
that.
committing to
No,
men like
no,
that.
no.
You should have been
No,
committing. Those are not going to
those
be
are
good role models for your children.
no. It's just that is not a PP. I'm sorry for my vocabulary on that. That's not a PP. Okay, please don't
They
confuse
shouldn't
it.
be at the top of your list for commitments. What I'm trying to say, like,
Mm-hmm.
you want a man who's more logical and is not emotionally unstable. If he's emotionally unstable because he had a whole bunch of trauma in his life and he wasn't raised right in a proper household, that's a red flag. That's not a good person you should be picking as a father for your children. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what
I
I'm
know
trying to
what you
say.
mean.
Yeah,
I know what
stay
you
away
mean.
from men like that. Now, you just let now
Ugh.
when
Oh.
that man is when the man comes back. Let's just say if he can fix himself up, become
Mhm.
stable financially, emotionally, well then
Right.
okay, give him a chance. But until then, hey, just there's no need to commit to him. He's definitely shouldn't be at the top of your list of priorities of men to commit to. Again, it goes back to the woman. You have to pick the right guy. You just have to sit there and look pretty. That's all you got to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. When it comes to pretty, I want to talk about this vanity thing you're talking about. So, when it comes to beauty, like, so when the woman, because I'm understanding this in a different way when it comes to beauty. So when a woman is with you, and let's just say everybody, you do know that just because you pick a young person, it doesn't mean that they're not going to wrinkle easy. You do know that, right?
Okay, but it's less likely.
Okay, no, well, I've seen some people younger than I am,
Genetics,
younger than I am.
in
Hello. Okay,
general,
younger than I am.
general.
Well, let me say, younger than me,
There's
and they have
exceptions. I
wrinkles.
know. There's
Okay,
exceptions. I'm not talking about the exceptions.
you know why? You know what? Okay, when one, okay, I don't have any wrinkles at my age. Okay, I'm very
Ugh.
blessed, and I'm thankful for it. Okay, uh, but but it's also because I haven't been married, and that could be a reason why. Okay, now people that get married, I've noticed. Okay, they're happy, they got wrinkles, but they're doing good. Okay, it really. So my question to you is, you know, even if you get a young person, like you say, okay, someone younger and don't have any wrinkles, but let's just say they're with you, and then with time, they just, because life, you know, pregnancy, babies, and all of that, you know, changes them, and they get wrinkles, they start looking like fat or whatever
I
you
get you.
want.
I get you.
Okay, so
Let me answer.
so
Okay, look,
what are you,
look.
what are you,
Well, look. I
what
get
is,
you. I get you.
okay, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I get what you're saying. What am I gonna do if she gets old and wrinkly or fat and changes and things like that, right? Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, look, nothing is certain. There's no guarantees. Okay. There's no 100% guarantees in relationships and anything in your life. If you think there is, you're a fool. But
Okay,
what you can do is you can mitigate your risk. You can reduce your risk as a woman and as a man, but
reduce the risk.
differently. Okay, you
Okay.
can mitigate risk. So in other words, as a man, if you are, if that's what you want in life, you want a younger woman that's more fertile, right? It's going to be more attractive,
Uh-huh.
and more suitable to be a mother. Fine, okay. There's still risk there. It's not like there's zero risk. There's a risk, like you said.
Uh-huh.
Your appearances can change, all that, but the risk
Uh-huh.
is less because when you take a woman out of work, she's not going to be as stressed when she's being cursed at by customers or being seduced by her boss to suck his dick for
Oh
a
my gosh,
raise.
I can't
You
believe
know,
you're even
like
saying this.
no, these things are real things that can happen. Anyway, her stress
Uh-huh.
levels should be lower. And when you're more stressed out as
Three,
a woman, you
two,
have more
one,
cortisol. Cortisol
shut
makes you fat. The hormone cortisol is going to make your face fat. So there's more chances she'll get fatter if she's working 40 plus hours a week and stressed out from her job. So if you take her out of that hell and you put her in a safe household where she's safe and comfortable and
Oh
she
my
can focus on
God.
feminine duties like cooking and cleaning and making babies, she'll have hopefully less stress. Still not
Wow,
guaranteed.
interesting.
It's not
I just never
guaranteed.
heard of that.
Wait a well, that's the yeah. Well,
Oh,
look, this is the truth.
oh,
But there's not 100%
oh,
guarantee in this, like you said. There's always exceptions, but the risk
oh.
is less. Okay. Also, if she's at home, she probably have more time to work out. If she doesn't have time to work out, the man can help her with a maid. Maybe you have 10 kids. That's a lot of work for her. You're gonna need a maid so that
One
she
night.
has time to work out and not be fat. So and also you have to train her. Let her know, look, honey, your beauty is very important to me. If you get fat, I'm gonna lose my attraction for you, and I'm gonna have to get a side chick that can
Your
take care of my
body's
sexual needs
wrong.
because you're fat.
Oh my
So
God.
you have to communicate these things to her so that she understands.
Wow, interesting. You know, I mean, this is, according to you, stress to
Yeah,
begin there. According to,
stress
to
makes you
you.
fat.
Hold
You
Oh,
up,
don't think
wait,
that's true?
wait, wait. Okay,
The
wait.
more
But
stressed you
I'm
are, the
trying
fatter
to,
you'll get. More cortisol
okay,
hormones.
wait.
That's a
But you're saying,
scientific
oh,
fact. Do your research.
but you're
fuck.
saying, but you're saying,
Uh,
you're saying that stress, strictly according to you, you're saying that it's coming strictly coming from the
It's no, not
outside world,
strictly. I didn't say strictly.
and
It's
it's not
one of the
coming from,
things.
hold up, it's not coming
It's one of
inside
the
your
things.
own home with her. There's no stress there. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying
Damn.
that's one important aspect of it. The more stress you have in life, yes, you will have more of the hormone cortisol, which is going to make you fatter, especially your face. It's a science. That's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. It's also time. When you're working 40 plus hours a week and you have an office job and you're sitting there vegetating, you're just going to get fat. You're not moving around.
Don't
So there's a
exaggerate.
higher
No woman is
chance you'll
going
get
to,
fatter. No,
First
if
thing that I
all
like
I'm
to
trying to say is you
do.
can reduce your risk of it. So when you keep her at home and
uh-huh.
you tell her, look, honey, here's a membership for Planet Fitness. I want you to go there every day. You have the time. You're at home. So you're gonna go to Planet Fitness every fucking day. And you cannot, I don't want you to get fat. If you get fat, we're gonna have problems.
Okay, look, I'm seeing a whole bunch of things here, like issues on some of the things you say, and you kind of
But she
contradict
can get
yourself.
fat. Don't
Hold
get me
up,
wrong. She can
you
still get
contradict
fat.
yourself.
But the
You
chances are
contradict yourself
lesser.
on some
The
things.
chances are
Okay,
lesser. Do you hear that? The
okay.
chances will be lesser.
Oh, I get what you're saying, but here's the
Okay.
problem. Here's the problem. Okay, just you kind of contradict yourself without even knowing. Look, when you
Okay.
say
Tell me how.
when you say okay, as far as stress, okay, you say it's only. if working and this and that, blah blah blah.
I didn't
Okay.
say only. I didn't say only. Stop it
So
with
you're
that.
saying that if she cooks, cleans, takes care of you mentioned 10 babies, okay, 10 babies and and
No,
and
I didn't
then
say I would have 10 babies with her. I said if a man has 10 babies with her, then that's too much. He should get her some help because
okay,
that's
well
going to
let's
be
just
too
say even
stressful.
3 kids. Let's just
He's
say
gonna need
3
to get
kids.
a maid to help her raise the 10 kids. That's a lot of stress,
Okay,
and she probably
let's
won't
just
have time to
mention
work out. Okay,
let's just
so if you
mention
have
let's
10
just
babies, yeah, she's gonna most likely get fat. She's gonna be more stressed out, and she's not gonna have enough time to stay fit and do exercises. So if she gets fat, the fault is more on the man for not getting her a maid.
Okay, let's just say 3 kids. Okay, because I've seen it in stores how
Okay,
stressful the mother can
yeah,
can go through with 3 kids. Okay,
yeah.
I only had one,
Wait,
and
I
that was
gotta
already
stop you. I gotta
stressful.
stop you because I gotta stop you. Your points are because this is ridiculous. Look, the point is
I
even
didn't
if you have
stop
one,
you.
wait,
Hold up.
just
No,
wait
no,
a
because
second.
I
Even if you
heard
have one
you
kid,
over.
even
I
if you
heard.
have one kid, it could be stressful with one kid, and it could be a lot
I
of work with
never
one
said it
kid.
wasn't. Can you
No,
let
but
me
I'm telling
talk,
you it is.
Baka?
Just let me
Baka
finish. Let me
kaka.
finish. Wait a second. Even if you have one kid, it could be stressful and a lot of work. And all I'm trying to say is if it becomes too
I
stressful for
heard
her and too
you.
much work for her, then you as a man, you have to do what you need to do to help her stay fit. You let her know, look, hey,
I
if you
heard
can't
that.
handle this, we're
I
gonna have to
heard
get you some
you.
extra
You
help or
say that I
whatever.
talk a
But
lot. You talk
still, it is your
more than I
responsibility to go
do.
to Planet Fitness and do exercise and not be fat. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Look, I heard about the fat, and I keep hearing about fat. Look, let me tell you something.
Fat.
Look, the stress. So you're saying that even if she has 3 kids, let's just say that, okay, and she's working, okay, or yeah. That she has 3 kids. She's not working, but she has 3 kids. She has to maintain those 3 kids, and then at least 2 of them are going to drive her crazy. Okay, and then above that, she has to do the cooking. Okay, the cleaning, and then at the same time, the kid's going crazy. This and that, and then you're saying that to maintain the beauty. Okay, to maintain the beauty, she has to go above all that going on. She has to go to work out so she don't lose her beauty because you want something sexy at home, something like that. And then you're saying, that she still has to maintain your wee wee, okay? At the end of
No,
the
we
day,
call
right?
it PP over here, bro.
It's
I
called a
don't care what.
penis.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't care. Wee wee. We're gonna say wee wee.
PP.
Anyway, so you're not thinking. So you're not thinking about all that chaos going on. Okay. Have until the end. All that sex and whatever, and she does it that way. Okay. You don't think all that is stressful for her. You don't think she's actually gonna get a lot of wrinkles that way. You
All
know.
right,
You
stories. Okay, I gotta stop you. All right, all you're trying to say
you
is
always
that
want to
you
stop me.
because you're just rambling. Same thing. Look,
And
okay,
you're
I
not,
get you.
and you're
Having
not,
kids,
and you're not.
having having kids is stressful. I agree. That's all I have
Okay.
to say. So I agree with you. I'm not saying
Okay.
that having kids is not stressful. That's why I have
Well,
to
it sounded
stop you.
like you were not making it that way.
No,
It sounds like
okay. Well,
only when
listen
she
to the
works,
words.
only
Listen
when
to the
she's
words
working
I'm
out of the
saying.
house, outside the house.
But
It sounds
listen to the
like that's what you
words.
meant.
Listen to the words I'm saying. I'm saying having kids is stressful. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now, here's the thing: having a job, a career, a lot of times, especially a job that you don't like, is more stressful.
That's
Okay,
terrible, right?
yeah. Versus being able to stay home, raising your own children, and your boss being the man you love. Isn't it better that your boss is the man you love versus some man who just sees you as a number on some job application? So I'm trying to
Okay.
say, being a stay-at-home woman, that's her priority in life is taking care of her own children that she loves, serving her man who's her boss that she loves, is less stressful than a stupid job. Now, that
I
doesn't mean
agree.
that it's not stressful. It's stressful. Everything
I
in life is
agree.
stressful. You can't get away from
100%.
stress.
Yes.
But I'm saying that as a man, you can you can help her reduce her stress in life. so she
I
could be
don't know
more
how when
feminine,
you're saying all these
so that she
points.
could be a better mother. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say.
Okay, well, I hear what you're saying. Okay, but when you want you want a perfect woman is what you're saying. You know,
No,
you
there's
want
no such
the
thing as perfect.
well. It looks like that's what you're
No,
trying to
I didn't
say.
say that. I
Yeah.
said I'm trying to reduce the risk, but there will be risk. There will be
Either way,
stress.
the
There
way
will
that
be
you're painting it,
problems. This is
the way
not
that you're
perfect. No,
Well,
this
there's
is not
risk, there's
perfect.
reward.
I'm trying to reduce risk, not
okay.
perfect. There's always
Well,
problems. There's always
okay.
stress.
So let's
But
just
as a
say
man, if you're going to be a good leader, you ask me what a good leader is. A good leader tries to reduce stress and problems and reduce risk. So I'm talking about how to reduce risk, not perfection, but
okay.
definitely
So what?
strive for something that's more ideal. Yes,
Okay.
stable. That's
So
more stable.
Stable.
So what I
Stable.
think, the stress or the hell, the would make it complicated for the woman is just the fact of the beauty part. So if you really now when you come about love, because I don't think a lot of men understand what love is. You know, when it comes to love, it's not about the appearance. Okay, it's about what she's showing you, what she can do, her mentality, her heart. Okay, even if she wrinkles. Okay, even if she gains some weight, okay, you don't pressure her. Hey, babe, you're losing that appearance. You're getting some fat there, pregnant body or whatever. You know, right? You're putting stress onto her mind. Okay, making her feel uncomfortable, pushing her to go to the gym or this and that and then when she gets home doing all these
I
things
get it.
that
I
she's
get it.
supposed to do. No, don't stop me right there because I listened
Oh, okay.
to their Jack in the Box conversations. So when she comes home, okay, and doing the exercise that you want her to do because you want her to look like a Barbie doll, okay, she comes home and she's too tired to have to attend your weebie. How about that? Okay, and then what?
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Okay,
okay. Okay.
okay.
I understand you. Fair enough. Now, here's the thing. I get where you're coming from. You're saying beauty should be much more than her being, not fat and having nice boobies. And, her beauty should be about her spirit and her personality. It should be about these things that you think it should be. That's what you're saying, right? I get you.
It should be a spiritual
It's
relationship.
spiritual, all those things.
Relationship,
And
yes.
right. I get you. Now here's the thing that I want you to understand. If you This is hard for women, by the way, but please try it. I think it'll help you. Understand that men don't see it like women. We think differently. We have different biology in general. Men prioritize different things when it comes to beauty that women prioritize. That's
Oh, okay.
how it is. I know
Okay.
you won't, maybe it's inconvenient because women don't think like this, but it is what it is. That's how men
Oh,
are. So if you want to have a
okay.
relationship with a man, you have to
Mhm.
understand the man and what he needs and how he sees things. And then once you understand it, guess what? You can is you increase your chances of having more success with him. So if you understand how he sees beauty, then you can decide for yourself, can I meet his beauty standards or not? And you won't be
Well,
deluded to think that you can. So in other
well,
words,
to
like, so for example, if a man says something to you like, I want you to be slim and fit, and this is very important to me. And if not, it's going to cause relationship issues. If you understand this need, then you can decide, okay, this is a man that I'm gonna get with or not, or can I meet his needs or not? Could I be disciplined to do this or not? And if you can't, you should stay away from that man. Okay. But every man, I'll just tell you this, they prioritize looks over your feelings and your personality. That comes first. We're not trying to take you out on a date if you're fat and ugly and old and washed up. We'll be nice to you. We might be your friend, but we're not gonna try to put a penis in you. We're not gonna try to commit to you and put babies in you. That your looks comes first. Like your looks is what gets you into the door for the job. Put it like that. It's like if you're applying to be a chef for a restaurant and they're looking for a chef. It's nice that you have a great personality. It's great that you're a kind person, a team worker. But if you can't fucking cook, we're not hiring you. The same thing with relationships. Like yeah, you have great personalities and that, but if you're not making our dick hard, we're not fucking you. That's
Yeah,
how men
Well,
operate.
that's
well,
so true.
We're not women. We don't
something.
think like
So
women.
man,
That's
Bakalaka.
your ego talking, Baka.
No,
Look,
that's
not
men
every man.
talking. No, that's
Hold up.
not
Not
ego
every man.
talking.
Do
No, no,
not
no, no,
speak
no.
for all
You're
men. All
confused.
men do
No, no,
not
you're
think like
confused.
that.
That's not
No.
ego
No, no,
talking.
I'm
He's
not
That is
confused.
confused.
men.
No.
That is men talking. What the fuck? What you
Yes,
can't say
yes,
our biological needs are our ego. That's how men think. I'm sure every man here, every most men you're gonna encounter, they're gonna tell you, yeah, looks are a priority for us. And we're not attracted to you, we're not going to commit to you. We're not getting to that level. That comes after the fact. We first have to be attracted to you physically. Then we can consider everything else. Women are not like this. They need a man's ability to make her feel safe. Provision comes first. Can you, they look at that first. Sex for women is more like the bonus. That's women. We're not shaming women. You can be a woman, but you shouldn't ask men to be a woman. You shouldn't ask men to think like a woman. Now they'll lie to you. PP boys will lie to you and say, "Yeah, I just like your beautiful spirit, your personality. That's why I want to marry you." But they just want pussy. They're
yeah,
desperate. They're desperate. They don't care if you're fat. They don't care if you're a single mom. They just want pussy. They're gonna say everything
yes,
you want to hear because they want pussy. PP boy.
yes, yes. So true.
You,
This
you
shit is
gotta
very
unmute
logical.
yourself, stories. You gotta unmute yourself.
A decent woman is not going to only want sex. Okay. So you're out of your mind. Now we're going to do something here because you speak for yourself. Not everybody thinks like you. Not every man thinks like you. Okay. And so I'm going to ask each man here on on the podium, and especially the one that's on the listeners, because we actually have some people speaking out here on the voice. We're going to actually
Yeah, ask
hear
him.
we're going to hear what other people have to say. So
Sorry,
Skinny, if you have the
sorry.
honors,
I actually
Skinny,
agree with the Bakalaka. You know what I'm saying?
huh? I
Yeah,
can't
Ask
hear
your
you.
question,
I
stories.
agree
Ask
with
your
Harry
question,
Kunts.
story.
I can't with everybody talking. Okay, what did you say?
Stories. I got a better idea. Ask your question first
No,
to a
I am
specific
trying to
person,
see. I don't
and then
really care what you're,
will you
because you talk too much.
shut the fuck up? I'm trying to help you, bitch. No, I'm saying that. Ask your question specifically to a person, and wait till they respond. You have to unmute yourself and go ahead. Ask your question. Yeah, I was trying to
Oh
help you
my
out. You
god.
have to unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. We understand. Yeah, I
What?
understand.
I'm not trying to hear you, Baka. I'm trying to see what I.
If you're not, then get the fuck out. There you go. I'm trying to hear other stories.
Bro.